We are back, guys. Sports Moods, as always, is C Moody here with
D Moody.
We have already done NFL, college football, WWE, Monday Night Raw. We're about to get into WWE Smackdown Live. Talk about this World Series some more as we give you updates in NBA and the NFL. Two Moody's, sports.
To Sports Moods, two Moody.
One duty.
Sports. Right now, jumping into World Series action, game 2. Right now, at the top of the 8th inning, the LA Dodgers hold a 3-2 lead, trying to take a 2-0 lead over the Astros in the World Series. Remember, this is a best out of 7 series, so the first team to 4 wins will be crowned your World Series champions. We do know the Dodgers won last night in game 1 after an 11 strikeout performance from Clayton Kershaw, and they won it 3-1. But tonight, holding a 3-2 lead over the Astros right now. Astros looking to try to tie this series up before heading back to Houston for 3 in a row, trying to steal the home field in this matchup here in the World Series. So that's what's going on right now. If it goes final before we're done, we'll give you the final score of that game.
All right, now we're going to dive into WWE Tuesdays Smackdown Live, as we just finished Monday Night Raw before we went to our break. And as you know, SmackDown decided to invade Monday Night Raw towards the end of the show, and SmackDown's commissioner, Shane McMahon, gave an ominous threat to Kurt Angle to tell him to bring his medals, bring the rest of his roster. At Survivor Series, we're going to settle this thing. Oh, it's true. It's dang true. So, let's kick off SmackDown. We have Shane McMahon coming out now to address.
The money.
Here we go. Money talks.
Money.
Dollar.
Dollar.
Ching, ching.
I have to. I just have, every time I hear Shane's name,
I respect that. I respect it.
Like, literally at work, like you know, when we do breaded payments at work.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they'll play that
really? Yeah, we got to do that. I like that. We have to do that. So, Shane McMahon comes out to explain what they did at Raw. Basically to say how the blue brand SmackDown is going to dominate at Survivor Series. And in comes Sami Zayn. Let's go! Okay.
Like, we really love wrestling things, guys.
Yeah, we really do, man.
Really excited about
I'm changing my ringtones this week as I speak. Sami Zayn comes in and asks if there's no hard feelings, and Shane's like, of course there are. You know, you disrespected me, you interrupted whatever the feud and all this. So, but Sammy's like, you know, come on, if it really was to come to blows, like, I'm gonna take you out, like
in like 1 second.
Yeah.
So I'll take you out in what? Because he said, if I'm standing here with the commissioner, Shane McMahon, I would take you out in 1 second. I'm like, the Sammy get kind of
right.
I kind of like this heel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like it, especially like how he still comes out dancing like he's arrogant now.
Like, I'm still me, but
yeah, because like before, the face of Sammy coming out was just like, I'm cheerful, I'm here to I'm intense. Like now it's just, I'm better than everybody, I'm a dick, like, you know, so. But so, Sami Zayn goes and offers that, you know what, him and Kevin Owens will lead the blue brand because you need them. You need Sammy, you need Kevin. And Shane's like, I don't need, nor do I want y'all, you know, but because they're the land of opportunity, he gives Sami Zayn a chance to be on the team if he could beat Randy Orton, the Viper. And that's what happens at our main event tonight. Backstage, we see the New Day as they're coming out for their tag team match. They throw away some fruit on the table because there's a paper right in front of the fruit that says raw fruit. I thought that was funny. That was a good little skit for them. Because I guess maybe they knew what was going to happen later on in the night, which you'll see what was missing in retaliation to Monday Night Raw. So we have like I said, the tag team match. That's what they were coming out for. The New Day, specifically Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, taking on Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. What Wrestle Talk TV on YouTube calls it, American Beta. So, really? You don't like it? And so I thought this was a pretty good match. They one-upped each other. Like, they did a move. Talking about American Beta?
Yeah,
I mean, that's not real. They just call it Chad. They still just call Chad Gable.
I thought they had...
No, that's not their real name. They never franchised it. That's why I was like, that's what Wrestle Talk TV calls it on YouTube.
It's American Beta.
Yeah, but it's not that. It really isn't. It's still just Chad and Shelton, basically. That might literally be the name, Chad and Shelton. But the tag teams are just one-upping each other. Good pop. Chad pushes Xavier into the ropes, which is a weird way to end this match. Chad pushes Xavier into their corner, into the ropes, and Shelton like kicks him really bad into the back, like center of his back. And Chad rolls him up for the pin.
And what JD from NY206 was saying, just kind of listening to him, he really opens my mind up to more logic gaps that the WWE has. When he says, you mean to tell me that little kid hurt Xavier Woods that bad to get rolled up, but we just saw what they went through in the Hell in the Cell when he was getting pretty much crucified with these kendo sticks, and one little kick in the back does him in.
Yeah, that was really weird for me. Yeah, they didn't make sense with that logic. I don't know what that was for. I mean, really, honestly, once again, this match was just the purpose of getting Shelton and Chad over.
I'm okay with the New Day losing, but just like how, like, give them a little bit more respect than that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I'm okay with them losing, but just make it make sense.
Yeah. So now backstage we have the SmackDown's women backstage together, and Carmella comes in because she has her leash, but there's no Ellsworth, so she's looking for her little James. So in comes Daniel Bryan, which is funny because he's like, you know what? All of you women will participate in
Let me guess. How many women was it?
There were 6 women there.
There were 6 women.
And so, but this is funny.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you do it.
There's 6 women.
But you can pick the 5.
I'm going to say I'm trying to figure out what idea Daniel Bryan could possibly come up with when you have all these women in one place. I know a fatal 5-way. Let's just put them all in a fatal 5-way.
But this is to see who's going to be the captain. That's the fatal.
I know, right? We got to fight for the right to be the captain. We have to fight for the right to... You gotta
have a captain. You gotta have a captain on the team. Every team needs a captain.
I'm saying all of you are hungry. We're going to have a fatal 5-way to see who gets to go in the line first to get the food.
Who's hungry? You want
wants it the most?
Exactly. That's what it is.
I'm like, come on. Like, they have the fatal 5-way just to see for a parking space. You want to park here? You know what? Fatal 5-way determines who parks in this
It's the land of opportunity, man. So, but besides these rant, when he says that we're going to have everybody compete to see who's captain. No, before he says that, he says everybody here will be a part of the SmackDown's women's brand for the Survivor Series team. So Lana says, well, Daniel, there's 6 of us. And he's like, oh yeah, not you, Lana.
I'm glad he said
he literally said it. He just clearly was like, oh, not you, Lana.
She'd have been a
everyone else. So, that was hilarious. And then to see Becky Lynch's face and Charlotte's face, like Becky Lynch looked at her like, oh, and Charlotte, she didn't look back. She just made a smile like, oh. So that was really funny. That was a very funny part for me.
Man.
But of course, like you said, we're having a 5-way match to see who's going to be the captain for Team SmackDown.
47 times this year.
And
5-way match. I wish I could go back
and count.
And I think I'm gonna work on that this week. We count to see how many failed 5-ways we see I'm going to do a counter of the 6-pack challenge. I'm going to do a counter of the Fatal 5-Way and the Fatal 4-Ways. It's just to show you how many we
What about triple threats? We're going to do
triple threat,
and triple threat.
And 6-man tags. and I'm
okay.
I'm really 8-man tag, 10-man. I'm going to count all of them and just show y'all how many times y'all this.
So after that, we have the fashion dogs now, not just the fashion police, because we have the addition of the Ascension now, which is now they're the best friends. Huh?
If there's one thing I ain't sick of, I'm sick of this. Like,
what, the Fashion Files? What? That's the best part. That's the comedic relief of the show. It's the comedic relief.
All the other week, like, we want a shot at the tag team titles too.
And they lost. So now, what else are they going to do? Are they going to keep fighting and doing that? No, they're good because look at this. Okay, this is why I like it so much, because everyone knows that the fashion, Tyler Breeze and Fandango are a gimmick. They know that. And if they don't do this little skit, they're obscurity. They're not relevant. But they have this. This is the thing that keeps them relevant. The crowd loves it.
The rest of the time for other people, man.
True.
Your main events could be longer.
True.
Or your opening to the show could be longer.
I mean, but we listen to Elias.
Yeah, you got a point.
So, I mean, if we can allow Elias to do that,
Elias is better.
What? No.
I'd rather see Elias.
No, I wouldn't.
Because he feeds off the crowd, and the crowd is just like they can't stay here.
But the crowd loves the Fashion Files. The crowd loves it. Like every time you hear a tremendous cheering, like almost like it was an actual play, and they just finished watching it because they're literally watching it on the Titatron, watching it happen. And once they do it, all you hear is this is what you hear at the end of every Fashion Files.
You know what I hear at the end of every Fashion Files?
That's because you're just angry. You're angry.
Get it up.
You just
get it off my TV.
That's what I feel when I hear Elias. That's
so. When I hear Elias, what I hear.
Get out of here. Get out of here. This is. That's what I hear when I hear Elias.
What is that?
It's laughter. It's a whole bunch of people laughing.
That sounds like some possessed.
It really did. It really did. It doesn't sound right. I might not use that button anymore. Here you go, man. Once again, remember, guys, if something happens to me, that Diaz has spoke that. Anyway, we have now a rematch from last week. Baron Corbin taking on Sin Cara. No more Lucha Sin Cara, just the independent. Shut up. So
will be two booties, one duty next week.
Oh, you are so disrespectful, guys. Remember that please take all your anger and frustration out on D if something happens to me, guys, because it is his fault. He has spoken Sister Abigail into my existence. So before the match happens between Daniel Bryan and Sin Cara, we see Daniel and Shane backstage, and Daniel doesn't like that Shane, for one, went and did the invasion on Raw, but the fact that he didn't tell him about it.
I think if he would have told him about it, at least Daniel would have had a chance to talk him out of it.
Right. And so,
hey Shane, you think maybe I agree with doing it, maybe not tonight.
Yeah. And so,
because think about it, Raw's already down.
Yeah.
Because you don't have Joe.
Nope.
You don't have Reigns. You
Nope.
don't have Bray.
Nope.
So I'm pretty sure if Joe was there, that would have been a fight back then.
If Reigns was there too.
Reigns was there, it would have been a fight.
If Braun was
there, they wouldn't have got over. So they picked the right time to go hit Raw while they're down.
Yep.
But when Raw come back, and I think Lesnar should be there too when they go to
SmackDown.
Because I think what they should do when they go to SmackDown and do that, I think he should come and get and drag the Maharaja all the way out to the ring.
But you know what I see is happening, like I said, because now SmackDown's on edge. Shane's on edge of knowing they're coming. So whenever Raw does come, like either they have a couple of people some SmackDown people trying to fight off Raw backstage, but the bulk, like the main card people, are in the ring, like waiting for them to get through. And so when they finally, like, you know, Shield beating up some people backstage here and there, but when they finally get to the ring, while they're all on this side, SmackDown's on this side, Jinder gets in the ring, like, from the Blue Brands, like, I'm the best, you know, come here. And then all of a sudden you see Brock Lesnar comes through the Raw crowd, and he comes into the ring. Then they go at it, and then everybody just starts fighting.
That's what they should do. I really do.
So I would like for that to happen. So Shane's like, well, I'm the commissioner. I make some decisions. That's what I do. And so Daniel's like, well, I'm the GM. You pay me to give advice, and I don't think it was a good idea. And so Shane was like, hey, well, that's what I am. Like, I'm gonna do it. That's what happens. And so they pretty much ended off of saying, you know, whatever. We're at a disagreement now. So whatever it is, that's how you feel. And Daniel's like, hey, well, whatever it is, you're gonna have to deal with it. So.
Well, really, Daniel gonna have to do it too, because he's pretty much now part of it, even though he had no part to it.
Yeah, he put him in it now.
So now you pretty much put me in a situation that I had no idea what you were gonna do.
Right.
But now I have to possibly suffer the consequences of chaos or anarchy on my show at any given moment. Yeah,
because just like on Raw, it was Kurt Angle that gets pulled out, of course, because there's no Stephanie.
Kurt probably thought it was gonna be like a peaceful rivalry.
Right.
And, you know, barring AJ Styles, him and Shane already talk. And then all of a sudden it's like Shane just has this blood loss. He done jumped off the top of the hill of the cell. He's like, I'm going after everybody now. So now, but what I was saying is, so when Raw comes, like they got Kurt Angle in, you know, kind of opposites, they would have to get Daniel Bryan. So, so like you said, it's kind of put him in a situation reluctantly. So now they actually get into the match, which, like I said, is a rematch from last week's countout win for Sin Cara on Baron Corbin. So Sin starts to gain momentum. He does like a suicide dive back to back on Baron Corbin, brings him in the ring and hits a missile drop kick off the top rope, but he kicks out. And then Baron Corbin, he rolls out the ring, gets mad, comes in the ring, starts to just beat down Sin Cara in the corner of the ring, and the ref's trying to pull him off. He's ignoring, and then he calls for the bell. And so when Baron Corbin gets out the ring, finally gets him off, you know, the announcer says, well, the winner by disqualification, Sin Cara. Pisses Baron Corbin off, comes back, pulls Sin Cara out of the ring, and hits him with the end of days. Sin. It's like, hey, hits him with the end of days.
That's it. Like, it's like, you know, I beat you up into the fact that I got eliminated, so you're going to take the win because I beat you up? No, I'm going to beat you up some more. And that's it. Bada boom, bada bing. Sin Cara is left dead beside the ring.
I like it.
So that's the end of that. Next we have Samir Singh taking on AJ Styles. But before that, which is funny, the Sin Brothers decided to play off of Paul Heyman's mocking. So they said, you know, we're here to introduce the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE champion, the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. So,
and I wanted to play you guys. I don't know if this was before or after. Did Jinder talk before?
No, he comes in the ring. Yeah, he comes in the ring before the match.
Okay,
yeah.
So I just want to play you guys a snippet of what he said. It's about a minute or so long, so just take a listen at how he was able to respond to what Heyman and Lesnar had to say on Raw.
Now, unlike that used car salesman Paul Heyman, I will tell you the truth. Everything that I have in the WWE, I have earned. I started at the bottom, and now I am the most powerful man in the entire WWE. I have dominated Randy Orton. I have out-wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura. Yet you people don't give me the same respect, the same level of respect that I get from the 1.3 billion people of the great nation of India.
My people.
Heyman was right. I am not Brock Lesnar's equal. I am not Brock Lesnar's contemporary. I am not Brock Lesnar's counterpart. I am Brock Lesnar's worst nightmare. And at Survivor Series, I will prove to all of you, and especially that human walrus, exactly why the Maharaja era has only just begun.
The human walrus.
All I have to say to that was not a good promo.
That was a good promo.
It was not.
That was a good used car salesman, Paul Heyman. That was excellent.
You gotta come
now,
at hard.
Here's a good pop he did too. I feel like when he said he worked for it, he wasn't handed something like.
What did he work for?
No, I mean I'm saying that, you know, of course he hasn't worked for getting to that spot, but the truth is he did start from the bottom. Now he's here. He started from the bottom. Now he's here, and now his whole team is here. Started from the bottom. But now, I think that was a pop ad saying, you know, anytime Brock Lesnar comes back, no matter what, he's always going to be, guess what? Get a number one contender. He's going to be, well, guess what? I'm going to face you for the championship. No matter the fact that I've been gone for 8 months because I've wrestled in a whole different brand of sport. When I come back, guess who's going to give me a title shot? You are.
But at least Brock ain't hijacking the title just to get promotions in a country that
because he's getting a promotion in a country now that shouldn't care, and that's America. That's Brock Lesnar in America. Because I don't care.
You don't care about the
I don't care
exposure for the WWE for India.
I don't care about Brock Lesnar having it just to have it for
liquid gold for the WWE.
Brock is dookie.
No, it's liquid gold, and you just run with it until it runs out.
No, it should have ran out a long time ago.
No, it's awesome. I love it. I mean, and it's just like
you can get enough pop with him without a title. You can get enough pop with him without a
it's
title.
It's better with him with the belt.
I don't know.
Doing his little bounce when he come out.
Nah.
But I didn't think that was a good promo by Jinder.
I thought that was probably that's honestly that was his best promo to me. That was his best promo.
His best promo was his first promo when he after he won the 6-pack challenge to fight Randy Orton. That was his best.
Really?
That was his best promo. Like the week after, like what he said he was going to do to win it and everything. That was his best promo.
No, this was his best promo, hands down.
He got more bass in his voice finally, but it's like
he's never been as confident.
Heyman done caught a body with you.
Yeah, I mean, of course, in comparison to Paul Heyman, of course, it's going to fail in comparison. But considering his list of it, he's never sounded as confident on the mic as he did just now. Never sounded as confident.
He knew it was true to what they were saying.
I mean, besides that,
when people hear the truth, they get mad. I mean, especially if they don't accept it.
He did call Paul Heyman a human walrus. That gets a whole bunch of points for saying that. Calling him a used car salesman was genius, and I hope he came up with that idea to call him that because that was pure genius. That sounds like something Triple H should say.
Used car salesman.
No, I think Triple H said that. Triple H gave him that one. Mm-mm. Yeah. Because
Dang.
Triple H likes to do like little underhand kind of like slick stuff like that.
I don't think Triple H.
Triple H, to me, Vince McMahon doesn't seem creative enough to say used car salesman. Like he might say the human walrus. Vince, that sounds like Vince, the human walrus, but used car salesman sounds like Triple H. I don't know, but either way, I like the promo. You don't like it. I feel like it was his best promo yet.
Modern day. Raja.
Oh, that's disrespectful. Now I want him to win. So, in this match, the referee immediately ejects Jinder Mahal. For what? I don't remember. Honestly, I missed that part. But yeah, he got kicked out before the match even started. So now it's just Samir with his brother Samir on the sidelines against AJ Styles. And this was a quick match, actually. So, of course, immediately Samir tries to interrupt. He jumps on the side of the ring. And AJ still handling him. Samir tries to come up, kicks him. And so he decides to throw Samir into Samir and then rolls him into the calf crusher. That's it. Bada boom. AJ Styles leaves the room. That's a winner. That's a winner. And now, Well, before I get to that, let me go backstage. After this win, Kevin Owens meets with Sami Zayn to say, hey, I got my qualification match next week. It's against Shinsuke Nakamura. So, but you know what? Sammy's like, I'm going to win tonight. You're going to win next week. And we're going to lead Team Smackdown. And it's going to be called Team Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Kevin Owens was like, no, it's going to be named Team Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And so he walks out. And Sammy's like, I love that guy. That was a little too mushy. I mean, I like it. I like the heel love right now. Like, I haven't really seen genuine heel love like this. This is almost becoming Jericho KO
That's
quality.
Yeah. Like reincarnated.
Right.
I hope Jericho comes back.
But it seems like this one, I think this was the battle, both of them.
Or just to have like comments or something, and they start talking and he brings out the list.
Yeah.
You know what happens, Sami
when you take my old best friend. You know what happens, Kevin Owens, when you stab me in the back? You know what happens because you're a bunch of idiots?
Stupid idiot.
You just made the list. So then now we have Jinder Mahal coming to Daniel Bryan with a beaten Samir and Samir to say, you know what, I don't like it. I'm mad. And so next week, Samir's going to fight for my honor next week. And Daniel's like, Samir, you sure you want to do this?
Get him too hurt. He's
definitely going to need him at Survivor Series. And Samir is like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. I'm going to do it for the Maharaja. And so then we see that. That's next week. So now we have
such a failure as a champion as Jinder Mahal.
Wow.
Never.
I don't know. Have I seen some worse champions? I'm sure I've seen worse champions. Like I said, honestly, Jinder is still not a great champion, but he's grown on me in his heel. He has, because it makes sense. Like I think that his presentation was what's grown on me, because the Sin brothers really push him into the thing, like the real royalty looking person. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, his performance is mediocre. So I feel like, this would be a great idea, which I know it won't happen. But whoever wins, they say I'm gonna do Face of India, and I take the Sin brothers, and it's like now it's my entrance, but that's not gonna happen. Just random pop. So we have one of D. Moody's favorite matches. We have the women's Fatal 5-Way for the opportunity to be captain of the Smackdown brand at Survivor Series. The Fatal 5-Way is Becky Lynch, Naomi, Charlotte Flair, Tamina, and Carmella. I feel like I said it wrong the first time. So, and of course this match kind of quickly turns outside. Everybody just starts throwing each other out the ring. Everybody's hitting each other with moves, and it's either into the barricade or kicking and stuff. So, yeah, pretty much Becky, I don't even know who she hit. She hit it on Carmella. Comes in the ring and hits her with the disarmor submission for the W. That's pretty much it. That's it. Becky Lynch wins it.
The only thing else I really saw was the whole thing with Naomi getting rammed into the post.
That's what happened. Yeah. Yeah, we just saw that.
That sounded pretty rough.
Yeah, it did.
After that happened.
Yeah.
But I mean,
because Carmella threw her like that, and then that's what led to Carmella getting the disarmor on her by Becky Lynch.
Yep. And I don't even.
Those are some nasty moves when they hit it. When women hit the turnbuckle, it just sounds so much worse. Like, I mean, the only person that really makes it sound bad for the men is Sheamus. Like, Sheamus sounds like he really goes into it full force. Or Braun Strowman.
Yeah, Braun Strowman does too.
Yeah.
He sells it very well too.
Yeah, those are really the only two. But you notice now, lately, you remember how the roll-up pin was kind of the go-to move all the time? Now that's like the go-to thing now is
push somebody into the pole.
Yeah, to gain advantage over somebody is they either run into it, like they try to like people who never do a spear move in their whole arsenal decide to try to spear you into the turnbuckle. They move and you run into it to the raw post, or somebody throws you dead into the post. So, but yeah, Becky Lynch is now your SmackDown's captain is Becky Lynch. Your Raw captain is Alicia Fox, which shouldn't be a match between captain and captain. But hey, we don't know how strong they're going to make Alicia look before Survivor Series. And backstage, we have Dolph Ziggler bragging on how he's better, how he's proved that Bobby Roode isn't anything but talk and entrance and no wrestler because he beat him one match after he already lost to him. One match. I think they're tied. Yep. Mm-hmm. So Bobby Roode is like, you know what? How about let's make it a 2 out of 3 pin, match for next week? And Dolph Ziggler's like, you're still stupid, but I'll do it. But you're foolish thinking you're ever any type of wrestler like me. So that match is set for next week.
Do like The Rock with the catchphrases.
Who?
Dolph Ziggler's like, if you smell.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah, he did that.
I missed that.
Because he was talking about catchphrases and stuff. Now he's going to the catchphrases versus how he was doing the entrances at one time. And so now he's hitting at the catchphrases. Like,
okay. I like that. So, now we have the main event. Which is Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton. And the winner qualifies for the first spot on the Smackdown's Men Survivor Series team. And this actually looked like a really good match for Sami Zayn, actually. He actually really stood his ground. Pretty good back and forth throughout the match. Randy, of course, when they go outside and Randy hits his signature backdrop on the announcer's table, which it looked more so towards the middle of Sami Zayn's neck. It really looked kind of bad. Comes in the ring. Sami gains momentum off a crossbody off the top rope onto Randy. And then they get back on the top rope. Randy gains his momentum back with hitting a superplex off the top rope. And then outside the ring, he rolls outside the ring from that. He catches him. No, they roll back outside the ring. Sami Zayn gains momentum by doing his little run through the corner turnbuckle to DDT him on the other side. And he comes back in. Randy hits him with the little ring DDT to get his momentum set up. But then in comes Kevin Owens trying to interfere in the ropes. And this time, Sami Zayn tries to get a pin. Randy Orton kicks out. But while Kevin Owens is still on the ringside, the referee goes to him. And Randy Orton literally low blows Sami Zayn. Full arm thrust up the midsection. Just like Sami Zayn did to Randy Orton last week in a tag match. And yeah, definitely. And he holds Sami Zayn's face up and stares at Kevin Owens for about a good 10 seconds before he finally decides to hit an RKO. Definitely not out of nowhere. This was a blatant, intentional.
I want you to see it.
See what I'm about to do to your best friend. And then he wins. And now we have the first member of Team SmackDown being Randy Orton. And we fade into the end of SmackDown with them going backstage to Shane McMahon and Daniel again, saying that Shane's like, hey, you were worried because you thought Raw was coming, and they didn't. So, hey, and then Daniel Bryan's like, but they are coming. So, and whatever happens, you're going to have to deal with that because that's your job. And then he walks off. And then left with Shane McMahon just looking kind of stupid. So, yeah. And that's the end of SmackDown Live.
Can I give him a rating?
Yep. What's your rating?
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
I just can't. It's just so many logic gaps, so much uncreativeness with this. The entire WWE with SmackDown as of late. And I just remember when the brand split first happened, how good SmackDown was so much better than Raw. Right now it's actually getting worse.
Oh, wow.
Than Raw. Wow. It's getting to the point where it's just like, I thought this was the land of opportunity. I thought this was an opportunity. Like, this is where you'll see the better matches. You'll see the better storylines. But now it's just, we got Jinder Mahal hijacking the title over there, and we're seeing great talent get buried like Nakamura, and it's just...
And we didn't see Nakamura this week, but we see him next week.
I just can't get to it.
But, I mean, honestly, unless there's some kind of loophole into this, we're pretty much going to see Nakamura as a part of Survivor Series SmackDown team.
I think he.
So I mean, it's he's getting his come back redemption kind of situation into relevancy.
I would like to see him get some of the Raw superstars, depending on who they five going to be.
I mean, I'm sure Finn Balor's going to be in it. I'm sure. I don't know. I really don't know because we're kind of on a timetable with Raw right now because we don't know which here's a thing I saw on Samoa Joe's Instagram page. His last picture he took had a symbol of WWE behind him, and that was just a few days ago. So maybe he's coming back soon. I hope so. We don't know about Roman's sickness, Roman or Bray Wyatt's sickness, and that could be a timetable to whether or not they add him or not. Because I think those three right there would be a good enough spot with being Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Bray Wyatt. But like I said, they're kind of going day by day with this because they don't know if they're guaranteed to have them. So,
what's your rating?
My rating, if I had to rate SmackDown Live, five out of 10. Because there was an ongoing story that was pretty good. Because even though there were some matches I didn't want to see, like this rematch between Baron and Sin Cara, which, I mean, of course, they're starting a feud. Maybe they're going to give Sin Cara the United States Championship. Who knows? But that is a feud that started now. And the lackluster use of Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. They, like I said, the good part was the ongoing ominous kind of threat of wondering if Raw was coming, which, like I said, I mean, it kind of left us kind of like, they didn't come. It's bad, but
do it right back to back like that.
Yeah,
you got a couple weeks.
That's what I'm saying. So it still left anticipation, like, they're coming. So you got 3 more weeks to see when they're going to come or how they're going to come. And the New Day tag match was decent considering it was just something put together. And like I said, I did like the gender promo. I like the Sin Brothers making the little remark, kind of edging on Paul Heyman. Even though the AJ Styles match was what it should be. Finally, was a squash match that was supposed to be a squash match. So, but yeah, 5 out of 10. It wasn't.
And the only thing I have to say before we close it out is the card for Survivor Series is not good.
What? Look at these champions matches.
They don't really have good champions right now. I don't want to see the Miz versus Baron Corbin.
I want to see that.
I would rather saw possibly maybe Miz and AJ Styles.
That would have been better.
That would have been better. If AJ Styles was still the United States champion, or Ty Dillinger maybe if he would have won the United States.
I wouldn't have wanted to see that.
I think that would have been a good match.
I think so, but I'm not used to Ty Dillinger yet to say I want to see him.
Yeah, you gotta get used to him because you see him and then you don't see him. So now, like the last couple of weeks, where it's
exactly.
So, and then with the Bliss and Natalya, the two heels.
I'm excited for that.
You got two Intercontinental champions are heel. The U.S. champions are heel. Both women's champions are heels.
I mean, Brock Lesnar is kind of not heel, not face. He's just in the middle.
Face or heel.
Yeah. So really, all the champions are heels almost.
Pretty much.
Except for the tag, except for Raw's tag.
That's the only match I care about on there.
What, the Raw tag?
The tag, until I find out who the 5 and 5 gonna be. But I mean, other than that, the Shield versus Usos.
I think honestly, the hype to me isn't about the confidence of the wrestlers.
I didn't mean. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But what JD from NY206 was saying right after this pay per view, I think the Raw pay per view after this Survivor Series is Clash of Champions. Why not have the champions versus champion at the Clash of Champions?
Because it's a Raw exclusive pay per view.
But still, though, make it a regular branded pay per view where you put champion versus champion.
No, we need that Survivor Series.
Pay per view of the year to end the calendar year for the WWE.
We need Survivor Series.
Champions versus champion.
We need Survivor
Clash
Series.
of Champions. It makes more sense. The logic of it. Champion versus champion.
We need more Survivor Series.
Champions. That's what they should have did.
Nah, I like this.
And then you could have just did your 5-on-5 matches for Survivor Series, like he said, and then still have your other feuds that you have going on both brands. Since it's a brand joined pay-per-view Survivor Series anyway, still have your regular feuds like you have on your Raw and SmackDown, and just do a 5-on-5. But I like the Clash of Champions. It makes sense to me because you got all your champions fighting each other.
But it's a Raw brand.
But I'm just saying, if it wasn't, I'm just saying, just make it since it's the last pay-per-view of the year.
See, that's the problem. You're trying to change too much stuff. You have to embrace what's happening. That's your problem.
Let's embrace and close this segment out.
Because I like the champions matches. And I think, like I said, like I was about to say, it's not about the competence of the wrestlers that's going into it. It's just the fact of, like, we're seeing who's the better. Like, okay, who's the better women's champion? Because now it's this title versus this title.
I don't even like Natalya as the women's champion. I would have much more seen a Charlotte versus Bliss or something like that. Or maybe Naomi versus Bliss or something.
Ooh, you know it'll be edgy, which I don't think they'll do that. WWE's not that creative. Carmella comes out. And let's say Natalya pins out, but she cashes in on Bliss.
But no, she's only on SmackDown though.
It's a women's champion.
It's SmackDown.
It's a women's champion.
SmackDown.
Okay, so you can change class of champion. You can collect. No, it wasn't a SmackDown brand. It's not a SmackDown
branded pay-per-view.
But it's not a SmackDown branded briefcase.
Yes, it is. It's for contract versus the brand that you're on. So you only can cash in on SmackDown.
I'm gonna have to see that contract. I need to see that contract. Because I think that'll be a good plug for her to do that. And now we're shaking up. Guess what? Now we're shaking up the rosters for next year's or the next Okay. Either way, the Survivor Series card right now looks good. And it's going to be even better because of the champions versus champions match. I wish we had 2 cruiserweight championships to go against each other because I would like to see Enzo get beat by somebody. I am so serious because I feel like if it's Survivor Series, we need every champion of each brand. But because cruiserweight division is pretty much just in the middle, and right now they got it on Raw and not SmackDown, they're just pretty much thrown in the middle with no segue either way. So, yeah, that's my takeaway from it. I'm excited about Survivor Series.
I'm not, but you're you and I'm me. Take a debate. So we're gonna end it with WWE. Just ending off with WWE SmackDown Live. Now, when we come back, I lost my pen there. We're gonna get into. Let you guys update you on the World Series Game 2. Right now they're in extra innings, and we'll tell you who has the lead there. Also, we're going to probably hit some NBA scores, and then we're going to get into our NFL Week 8 picks. Yep. This is Sports Moods, 2 movies.
1 duty.
Sports.
We'll be right back.
Alright, welcome back. This is Sports Moods. 2 moodies.
1 duty.
Sports. Right now we've covered everything from NFL Week 7 to college football to the WWE, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live. And now we're going to give you guys an update on the World Series right now, and then some NBA scores to come up after that. And then we're going to get into our NFL Week 8 picks. Right now, we are in extra innings. In the middle of the 10th inning right now, the Astros have a 2-run lead in the 10th, a 5-3 advantage right now over the Dodgers in the middle of the 10th. So the Dodgers are up to bat with 3 outs left to try to tie this game or take the lead and potentially win it in walk-off fashion as they trail by 2 runs. Houston looking to tie the series up at 1 game apiece in this best-of-7 series to determine who's going to be the World Series champion. So we'll keep a close eye on that to see how things finishes out there in that game. Astros currently leading at 5-3 right now in the middle of the 10th inning.
All right. So we're going to get into some NBA scores as of tonight. A lot of these games have ended with the exception of 3. So the games that are now over, the Mavericks did beat the Grizzlies 103-94. Key players, Marc Gasol from Memphis had 26 points. Dennis Smith Jr. on Dallas had a great game tonight, having 19 points with 5 assists. Dirk Nowitzki, the legend, keeps on going. Even though with no threes, hit 13 points, 5 for 10 with 25 minutes. The next game we have that is over with, like I said earlier, the Hornets over the Nuggets. We have the Nets coming out over the Cavaliers, 112-107. And even though LeBron James had another triple-double game, 29 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds, and Kevin Love having 15 points and 12 rebounds, they were outscored by the rest of the teams. Timothy Mozgov had no points, but still had he didn't have really much any of a game, but I just realized he was on the Nets, actually. I didn't know that. That's why it shocked me. But
I thought you were building me up to say he did something.
No, I was just like, Timothy Mozgov. I was like, he's on the Nets now? But hey, I didn't know. DeMar Carroll had 18 points, 7 rebounds. I got to find out this man's name. It's kind of long right here. Rondé Hollis Jefferson. He had 19 points with 6 rebounds. And Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm making sure I said that right, 22 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds for the Brooklyn Nets, who are, what is their record? 3-2 as well as Cleveland. The Spurs did pull out their win 117-100 against Miami Heat. LaMarcus Aldridge having a great game with 31 points and 7 rebounds. Paul Gasol had 13 points with 9 rebounds. And Darren Green had 15 points. Kyle Anderson had 12 points, 10 rebounds. On the other side, we have Goran Dragic having 20 points with just 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Deion Waiters, 17 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. What else we have? We have the Thunder over the Indianapolis Pacers. The Thunder is currently 2-2. The score tonight was 114-96. On the Thunder side, we of course have 2 tied for the lead. Russell Westbrook continuing his triple-double season, seemingly, with 28 points, 16 assists, 10 rebounds. Carmelo Anthony having also 28 points and also 10 rebounds. Paul George just having 10 points in his performance against his former team, the Pacers. On the other end of the ball, we have Victor Oladipo with 35 points and just 5 rebounds. Darren Collison having 18 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. And Thaddeus Young, 14 points and 4 rebounds. Now, the games that are still going on right now is the Raptors and Warriors. Warriors are up 61-53 at the end of the third. The Jazz and the Suns with just over 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Suns are up 75-60. And which I would say possibly the game of the night, and seeing the matchup against John Wall and Lonzo Ball. With 11 minutes in the third quarter, the Wizards are up 51-47. The top scorers right now are Bradley Beal with, let me see, Bradley Beal with 11 points on one side, and on the other end of the ball we have Nance Jr., Larry Nance Jr. with 14 points and 9 rebounds. And that's it for the NBA side. Well, before I end, I want to add this thing about Lonzo Ball. I know the first game of the season, he only recorded 3 points in his first performance. But then in the second game, he finally had his breakout game. In their only win of the season so far, which was against the Suns. And even so, still had a close game against the Suns, winning 132-130. But Lonzo Ball had 29 points. And then his next game, they lost to the Pelicans, and he only scored 8 in this game. So he's having pretty much an up and down season so far. He is the guy to look at because of the hype of his father, LeVar Ball, hyping him to be the next best thing and the next GOAT, basically ahead of his time upcoming. So have to monitor Lonzo Ball. He was the second round draft pick, and so far up and down performance for him. So they would just. It's only early in the season. Like you said, we have 82 games in the season. But so far, I think the only undefeated team right now in the NBA is the Washington Wizards. The only team on the East undefeated is the Washington Wizards. On the West, we have 2 undefeated teams, the San Antonio Spurs and the LA Clippers, who actually thought would be on a downhill after losing Chris Paul last year. Well, over this off season. So shocking to me a little bit. They still have some of their key people, of course, with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan being the dominance in the paint. And Jamal Crawford, JJ Redick. I can't remember who their new point guard is now, but I mean, it's still good to see them performing undefeated right now. JJ's not there.
I think Jamal Crawford's gone too.
Really? So who do they have?
Either.
I need to find out who they have.
Moved some pieces around.
Let's see what their forefront is. I need to see their forefront. So, because I really don't know who their starters are. Oh, Gallinari. We have Patrick Beverley. That makes sense. That's who shut down Lonzo Ball at the beginning of the season. And Austin Rivers. Okay. So, hey, good performance for them, man. Shout-outs to the Clippers for maintaining themselves in spite of losing some key people. So those
it's still early for me.
Of course, it's only what?
Yeah, so I can't really get into. Not saying I can't get into. I watch it, but I watch it for the sake of just to see how the talent is. I noticed Ben Simmons the other night got his first career triple-double with the Sixers, so it's good to see him actually playing. I know he had some injuries that held him back. Golden State's been kind of up and down a little bit. I know the Curry and Durant both got ejected out of that Pelicans game, and we saw Draymond and DeMarcus Cousins going at it a little bit there. So, I mean, it's really early, right now.
Definitely.
A lot is still going on. Ball, he's still got a lot of learning to do about the league and, trying to be more of a consistent performer for Lonzo. But, I mean, I'm just anxious to see all this young talent and how it's going to really turn out and work out, like for Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball and stuff like that. And, we know that ones will be there in the end, we assume, as it goes along. And, time will tell how everything shakes up.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of people who've been moved around in the NBA, I don't know if you heard about this, but recently Kyrie Irving made some foul language towards a fan.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, and the NBA fined him $25,000.
And then speaking of him being fined, also when Curry got ejected out of that game the other night, he was fined $50,000 for throwing his mouthpiece. So usually that's his go-to when he gets mad.
Yeah, it is.
He throws that mouthpiece, and that was a very expensive mouthpiece.
Right. It definitely hurt his wallet for that mouthpiece.
Yeah. So, that's how it looks tonight in the NBA. While we're here, still sticking with basketball, I was going to wait till next week, but I'll go ahead and reveal it this week. College basketball is getting pretty close. They've already released their top 10 of who they have put in the top 10 to start the season. Number 10 is West Virginia Mountaineers. Number 9, the defending national champion North Carolina Tar Heels. Number 8 is Wichita State, who's been doing some good stuff over the last couple of years. Number 7 is Florida, who went to the Elite Eight last year. Number 6 is Villanova. You can remember that epic championship win they had versus North Carolina 2 years ago in the national championship game, the 2006 champions. Number 5 is Arizona. Number 4 is Kentucky. Coach Cal and the Wildcats went to the Elite Eight last year where they lost to the Tar Heels in the Elite Eight. Number 3 is the Kansas Jayhawks. Sweet 16 was where they got put out of the tourney last year. And number 2, Tom Izzo and Michigan State, the Spartans. And number 1, college basketball, Duke Blue Devils. And Coach K, arguably the greatest college basketball coach of all time.
Yeah.
Yet again, they are ranked number 1 to start a season under his leadership. So that's your top 10 for college basketball. As it gets closer, we'll get more into college basketball as well. To let you guys know, I am a huge Tar Heel fan. So I'm very passionate about college basketball, especially when it comes down to the North Carolina versus Duke.
Gotcha.
I will debate you day and night on that.
Gotcha.
But that's how things look. So in the NBA, MLB.
Can I add one last thing in the NBA?
Go ahead.
I wrote this down. This is a random article, not so much dealing with the players or just happening around the sport, NBA. Ex-commissioner David Stern is convinced that marijuana does have medical qualities and should be taken off the banned substance list. So I just thought that I think about it when they have all these situations where players, not only in the NBA but NFL, get banned or fined for being caught with marijuana. I think Cousins actually had an altercation in California for having marijuana on them. So I don't know how far it's going to go.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with it? Why not?
That doesn't need to be legalized for the players because they would abuse it.
You think so?
We see it too much in sports today.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I just don't think they need to do that. It does. I mean, it can work good things for some people, but I just don't think we need to mix that in with sports.
Okay. Gotcha. Like I said, man, that wraps up the NBA. Well, that wraps up the basketball world because we tackled not only NBA but the college basketball. As the season looms in, not even over a month away now. So we're getting ready for some good college basketball as well. So we're one
time of year, March Madness.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. And we definitely have to do our predictions.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to do that. I mean, I know we can't put the whole bracket on the podcast at one time unless we do just set out an actual separate podcast for it, or maybe we just go night by night and kind of do our predictions or something. We can't do that in a week.
We just have to probably pick a champion or who we think the Final Four is going to be.
Yeah.
The Elite Eight or something, or Sweet 16.
Okay. So now you can go ahead and give them the MLB update.
Yeah, right now we're still in the 10th inning. Right now, the Dodgers did add a score. It's 5-4 right now. So they're still
updated.
Oh, it's 5-5.
5-5.
Yeah, it just updated on me.
Hernandez hit a single.
Yeah, so the Dodgers battling, hanging tough, trying to get that 2-game lead. Houston's got to try to find a way to close it out and try to tie it up heading back to Houston.
It was just 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th.
Bottom of the 10th inning. We got extra baseball means free baseball.
Yeah, definitely. And like D said, the LA Dodgers are up 1-0 in the series. In the last game, they won thanks to Justin Turner hitting a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th to seal their win. Clayton Kershaw also had 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, he had a great performance.
Definitely.
Clayton. I'm hoping that they can win it just for the sake of him because he's an awesome pitcher.
Yeah. So, now we are at the time where we end our show with giving our next week predictions in the NFL for NFL, I think, week 8 now. So, and we start out the week with Thursday Night Football. As always, we have 4-2 Dolphins going to Baltimore to take on the 3-4 Ravens. D. Moody, what you got?
It's a toss-up game for me, but I'm going Miami.
Going Miami.
I like the energy they got going on right now, and I just don't trust the Ravens.
Of course.
Or Flacco.
As you call him,
Fluco. The
Fluco.
Dolphins are going to do it. I think they got good weapons. Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills is stepping up. Matt Moore is very familiar with running that offense, so it's not like you have a young backup quarterback who's inexperienced or anything. So I'm going to go with Dolphins.
Going Dolphins. Let's make this interesting. I'm going Ravens.
Okay.
Going Ravens.
Baltimore.
Going Baltimore. I mean, even though we know how inconsistent Flacco can be, I got him winning this one.
Okay.
And maybe the defense shows up finally. You know, maybe.
It's a big maybe.
So, and I don't really see good Dolphins defense. So even in a bad effort for Joe Flacco, still I feel it'll be enough to overcome, as long as their defense can at least play moderately. So that's why I got the Ravens on that one. So next game I got on my card is Carolina Panthers going into Tampa Bay, take on the Buccaneers.
I think this losing skid has to stop eventually. I think it ends here. Hopefully Cam can bounce back. Both of these teams need a win. They're both been losing a couple games in a row. Tampa Bay's been losing close ones. Carolina is one week looks strong, the next week looks horrible. But if I were to choose, I would go with Cam and the Panthers to get it right this week.
Okay. I agree with you. I don't see Carolina going 4-4 right now. And that's what they would be if they lose this one. Even though I do like Jameis Winston, I like their performance, I don't see the Buccaneers beating the Panthers. I must agree with you. So.
Next game I have is the Vikings versus Cleveland, Minnesota. I don't even.
Yeah. Minnesota, both ways. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah.
Jets versus the Falcons.
3-4 Jets and 3-3 Falcons.
Is this game in New York?
It's in New York.
I think the Falcons will win it. They'll get back right. They done lost 2 in a row. They gotta pull it out.
Who did the Falcons? They lost to the Patriots. That's not a bad loss, considering the Giants. I meant the Jets. Jeez. Yeah, I guess I gotta go Falcons. I can't. It's another team I can't see. They're already fit 500. I can't see them going under. So.
Raiders and Bills.
Raiders and Bills.
Surprise pick this week. I'm going Buffalo. I think last week was good for Oakland, but I don't think it's going to really translate over to this week. I think Buffalo gets it.
I'm going Raiders.
Okay.
I'm going Raiders. Even though, like I said, they are 4-2, they're not a convincing 4-2 for me. And the Raiders are just disappointing 3-4, and not because they don't have the quality of people like they showed against Kansas City this past Thursday night, even though it's a controversial win for them.
Yeah,
I think that just that effort shows that they should be able to beat this team, the Buffalo Bills, for me. Okay. So I'm giving it to the Raiders, which I've lost so far. The last few weeks, I've gone with. Well, no, because I bet against Oakland last week, but the times I went with Oakland, I've lost. But hey. And they don't have Marshawn Lynch this week either.
They don't. It's not like he's been a big factor.
Yeah, but still, it's Marshawn Lynch though. He's not.
But who's at
the rushing him now without him?
Breaking off tackles off 8 or 9 people.
I mean, all right. I'm not changing. I already said it.
I know. Yeah, he's suspended. He wanted to run on the field. Touch the zebra.
Okay, so who you got next?
Bears and Saints. I'm going Saints. I don't think the Bears sneak up on the Saints like they've been doing to everybody else. I like what the Saints have going on. They're building consistency each and every week. They're playing really strong defense, and the running game is there. I like what this team has going on right now. I'm going Saints to win.
I'm going Bears. I'm taking the risk. I like their performance against Carolina, even though we can attest to say that Carolinas have been playing
that
poorly.
Defense, man. If you take away them 2 defensive plays, man.
Yeah, I mean you're right. You take away those 2 but it's a 3. But they don't necessarily lose at that though. But even if they take away those 2 points, it's not a loss. It's a tie game. They only scored.
Yeah, wins. I think. But I mean, it is what it is. They beat them. But
yeah, I mean, like you said, Cam still had a great game in as far as yards and passing and rushing. Mm-hmm. So I'm just expecting maybe Eddie Jackson could continue it. Maybe. This was a bad. Honestly, I might say this is a bad choice for me, but I've already. I like the fact that you did it. I've already wrote it down. So hey, yeah. All right, man. Next game I got is the Colts and the Bengals. 2-5 Colts, 2-4 Bengals. Who do you have?
I didn't even have that game wrote down.
Really?
Indy and
Cincy.
Cincy. I go with Cincy. Cincy should win this, but it won't surprise me if they don't. I'll go with Cincinnati.
Honestly, I feel like I should go with the Colts. I feel like Jacoby Brissett can beat the Bengals defense. But I already wrote it down. I'm going Bengals. I already wrote it down.
Cincy.
All right, next game I have is the LA Chargers versus New England Patriots. I've already said.
I like what the Chargers are doing. They're very dangerous. A very scary team. Just historically.
Just say Patriots. Just say Patriots.
Don't beat the Patriots.
Don't
in New England.
Don't drain this out for me. Just say Patriots.
I like the momentum they're building. I just hate that they had to play us when they're finally building up that momentum to finally get to 4-4. They climb out of the 0-4 hole. But I gotta go with Tommy.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots.
Tommy's gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Tommy, Bill, the Chargers there.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a surprise L though.
They're playing really good football, but crush them.
All right, so who do you have next?
49ers 0-7 versus 6-1 Philadelphia
Eagles.
I got Eagles too. They're gonna go 7-1.
Yeah,
if they lose this game, I'll be surprised.
I would definitely.
Be the upset of the season.
Yeah, this is the upset of the. Yeah, like you said, the season if they lose this one.
They lose this one.
So,
Houston versus Seattle. I think Seattle got this. I like Deshaun Watson. I think they've had an extra week to prepare for this game. Houston still has a pretty good defense, regardless. You can't replace a guy like J.J. Watt. Hopefully, DeAndre Hopkins can steal him, and Deshaun Watson can still have that connection they've been having. But, I mean, it's in Seattle. It's a tough place to go play on the road. It's very loud there with the 12th man. It's a lot to try to overcome. Seattle wins.
They overcome it. I'm going Texans.
Okay. I got my 2 games. Okay. Cincinnati, I know you.
Yeah, I called that one.
Went Chicago and Houston. Yeah, they gonna hurt you this week.
Chicago and Houston. I don't know, man. Chicago is going to be this shock in my favor. Okay. I'm telling you. And the Ravens, I'm confident. I'm confident in the Ravens pick. I am. I'm pretty confident in tomorrow night's Ravens pick. So, all right, we got Dallas Cowboys going into Washington to take on the Redskins. Both teams 3-3.
Who's like Dallas? Dallas is going to take it. It's going to be a close game. This could come down to the wire, man. Whoever has the ball last. I just think Ezekiel Elliott is that X factor in the game.
Yeah.
I think he's going to build momentum off what I mean, they did play the 49ers last week, but I think there could be a lot of points scored in this game, but I think Cowboys win it.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys. Even though I don't expect Zeke to have that same dramatic performance against the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, I don't expect that big of a performance, but I still think he'll have an impact on the game.
Honestly, I think Redskins are going to win, but I've already wrote down my side for Cowboys.
Okay.
No, it's Cowboys. I got Cowboys.
Okay.
But I honestly feel like the Redskins are going to win this game. Like, so both of us are going to lose this one.
Okay.
So. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Detroit to take on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions.
Oh, man. I put Pittsburgh. Just think Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Big Ben, and it's Matthew they're going against. So,
and that's why they're going to lose.
Pittsburgh wins it.
I'm going Detroit. This is your win.
This is my week. I'm taking it over this week.
You're taking over this week?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Taking over.
One game at a time.
One game at a time.
All right, we'll see. Because I mean, this is definitely the opportunity. Because we've opposed each other in five games so far. So somebody's getting away. Somebody's getting the lead. And at the end, we have the Broncos taking on the Chiefs.
Chiefs bounce back. They ain't losing 3 in a row. No, don't see it. Don't see it. I don't think they start.
I do. In fact, no, I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs. I'm playing.
Okay.
I ain't wrote that down. I'm going Chiefs.
Well, I was about to say, man, you on the limb now. You out there. Those are our Week 8 picks. Again, CMO has the lead right now, 64-42.
Yep.
And D-Mo is 60-46.
Yep,
So
very close.
Cushion there. So it's, any week could be the changing of guards or the shift of power.
And for whatever reason, he feels like this week is going to be.
Every week has been the week, and I've still yet to take the lead on you. Like, I keep chomping at the bit, but I can't seem to overtake you. So I'm hoping this is my week to do so.
I'm sorry. Sorry to bust your bubble.
Might not be. I'll wait to the end of the season to do it.
That's it. The last game is where you. I hope I have such a stretch on you. At the buzzer. That'll be. Oh, that's going to hurt. It is going to be like the last game of the season. Like the very Monday night game.
We'll see.
Hold on. Here's a question. Are we going to go all the way up to the Super Bowl?
We should do the playoffs too.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do the playoffs.
So regular season, then we'll have playoffs. Okay. Yep. I like that.
So, if all hearts and minds are clear,
the doors of the church are open.
I think we put together another pretty good podcast here. Again, thanks guys for all the support. Remember, follow us at It's Sports Moods on Instagram, at Sports Moods on Twitter.
Yep.
We are now available on iHeartRadio,
yes,
as well as Spreaker and YouTube. Again, all the support is, really, really appreciated. You guys really have been supporting us, and we see the viewers from different areas of the United States. I think you said Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte,
River, South Carolina,
and Ashburn, Virginia this past week.
Ashburn, Virginia. Shout out to you as well. And then tell your friends, if you know any friends or anybody who likes sports, just love to hear sports talk, fans of WWE or NFL, NBA, college football, or just like sports in general. Follow us, give us your feedback, listen to our podcast, pass it on to a friend, try to get us out there, get us exposure. We appreciate everything you guys do.
And also,
tuning in every week.
I know that some people look at how long our podcast is, and that might deter them from wanting to watch it because they might feel like, hey, it's too long. But let them know, if you are the ones that do faithfully listen to the whole thing, or actually read the description, let them know that there are timestamps. So if for whatever reason you don't want to hear everything we have to say, or you might like sports but you don't like WWE, I know a lot of people look at us and be like, why are you still, watching or following WWE? If you don't want to see it, we have timestamps to go around it. Or if you do want to hear WWE and don't necessarily care for the other sports, we have timestamps so you can go specifically to it. So just let them know that even though we want you to watch to listen to the whole thing, if you are either busy or don't care for certain sports, you can jump to where you want to listen to us. So But either way, any type of listening and following is appreciated. And we hope that we are or will soon be your go-to for all things sports. So that is a wrap. As D. Moody said, all hearts and minds are clear, man. We have said just about anything that needs to be said for this past week in sports. NFL Week 7, NCAA Week 8, college football, WWE setting up, both Raw and Smackdown for Survivor Series, MLB World Series going on, NBA. Oh, wait, we got something going on in the World Series.
7-5, the top of the 11th right now.
7,
Astros leading. Still
in extra innings as we speak. 7-5 Astros up. Looking to tie this season up for the World Series. So, hope you like the game. I hope you'll probably already know what the game is going to be as we upload this. So, maybe, once again, we may start going live. Who knows? We got to get used to it. Still fresh, but we are Sports Moods. I'm C. Moody here with
D. Moody.
2 Moodies.
1 Duty.
Sports. See y'all next week.